friendship that Kevin and I started quite a while ago. The coziness of getting married here in the house, the music, the ceremony that you'll see. For a lot of reasons, I'll remember this particular wedding. But I'll also remember it because even though I'm an old person, I've only been a pastor for a fairly short time. And this is the oldest couple I've ever married. I'm not insinuating that they're that old because they're both younger than I am. But so many times at the weddings today that I officiate at, most of the people getting married are in their 20s or maybe late 20s. And they are young people who are just starting off in life. They're just starting the process of adulthood and their careers and their marriage. Now, Jen might be able to pass for that 20-something. It'd be a little more difficult for Kevin. My point is they don't quite fit the mold. But the beauty of what we do here today is that whether you're married in your teens or your 20s, your 40s, 60s, or your 80s, the pledges that we make, the vows that we make, and how we enter into marriage is exactly the same. It doesn't change with age. It's all about making that covenant with each other and making that covenant with God. And that covenant is all about love. That's why I was happy with the scripture that you picked, because even though the Bible tells us in so many places about love, never is it quite as clear about the importance of love and what true love is than in that passage from 1 Corinthians. The first part just tells us very clearly that you have to have love in your life. That without love, we're an empty shell. Without love, there's no music going on in our life. We just hear that noisy bell and that clanging cymbal. The scripture then goes on just to tell us how or what true love really is. And it's hard for us to define what true love is, but the words that we heard spoken, they give us a pretty good recipe for what true love and everlasting love really means. You too will have a lot of wonderful memories from today. And I hope they're memories that stay with you for a long time. But I also hope that a part of those special memories are the words that you heard from the scripture that was read today. Because no matter how much you cherish each other, no matter how much you love each other, no matter how much you're certain that the two of you are bound together forever, you know that there's going to be ups and downs in marriages. It happens. So follow those words from Scripture. Those words tell us that, first off, it's important that there's no place for selfishness in marriage. That all that you have now, you have together. And all that you have are things that need to be shared. There's no mine anymore, it's now ours. We also heard that when the stress of the world gets to you and it's easy to lash out at the person closest to you, that's where patience and that's where kindness have to come into play. In the words that said, love does not count up wrongs that have been done, I think that's a critical aspect of a true everlasting love. If that's my wife, tell her I'll be home in about a half an hour. I think when you read those words, the critical part of that is that we have to learn to forgive. Because as we make those mistakes and somebody finds somebody's underwear laying over on the floor, or somebody doesn't get the lawn mowed, or those discussions come up, it's time to reach down for that love that tells you to forgive and to move on. And lastly, it says that your love must always trust, always hope, and always endure. The key there is always. It means forever. There's no time limit on the vows that you say. It's from this day forward. And to say